That's the sort of understanding they have. Teach people the Bible. The idea of reproducing Jesus Christ in the life of people, that does not cross our mind because we are not talking about it. We are not talking about it. The very idea of making is very strange because we believe in Christian freedom. You know, in America and all, individual freedom is the greatest value they have. So anybody trying to do anything, forcing anybody to do anything, they hate it. That program cannot succeed. In India, there was a time where the Gurukulam teachers could force the students to do certain things. But now, everything is free. Don't correct children, spank children, don't this, mentally don't persecute, this, that, and you cannot say anything. It's everything smiling and, it's telling them, hey, it will be all right. You are all right, nothing wrong. You are all right, that sort of. So, discipleship is an impossibility because people don't understand it, when it comes to our faith. But very sad, very sad. Yes. So the first reason why discipleship is not practical today is because the lack of understanding what is discipleship is all about, what is discipleship is. But there are other reasons. What are the other reasons? Can you say some of the other reasons? History is another reason. See, the dark ages of the churches from 350 BC to 1560 BC, when Reformation started. That period in church history is called the Dark Ages, where Bible was set aside. Constantine made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire. AD, we are in AD. Christian discipleship is in AD. BC, I said, that's one of my problems, I meant Peter, but I said Calvin, Yeah, I don't know, the problem is my mind is far ahead. I was going to say something about BC, but, my mind was there and my mouth is behind, so it happens. Maybe that, I don't know. Anyway, this is not the first time I made that mistake, so. Yes. So you have to understand what I meant. Yes. You heard the story of a barber? Yeah, the barber was going by a Kalyana Mandapam. You know what Kalyana Mandapam? The place where marriage. So in the Mandapam, there's a place where there are all kinds of sweet items and everything kept, and all these banana bunches were hanging and all. The barber wanted to get some of those things. How can he go? Because the Hindu marriage, they have the muhurtam, So the muhurtam is coming, the bride and the groom is going to come, and everybody there, all those things are going on. So barber stood there before, and how can he go? So he went to the cook. The cook was cooking there, so he went to the cook and said, can I get a little fire to smoke, lit his cigarette or bidi. So the cook didn't appreciate it because, before the right time he is behind, and so he took one of the firewood in old days, burning firewood, and went to the barber. The barber got angry and said, don't you know that little fire means 2 bananas? Don't you know that? I didn't want the fire, I wanted some of those things. So sometimes we are like that, I meant AD, but you heard it. BC. So don't you know that AD means BC? Yes. So this Dark Ages has changed Christianity dramatically, changed. No preaching of the gospel was needed now, because the emperor's religion is the subject's religion. When Constantine became a Christian, then everybody in his empire became a Christian. He declared, when the clock strikes 12 tonight, Christianity will be the official religion of the Roman Empire. Wow, how easy it is. It said that he required all his soldiers to cross a river, and he said, you are all baptized. One person keep repeating that in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Everybody cross in the name of the Son, and the Father, and the Holy Spirit. You're all baptized. So baptism is over. Without preaching the gospel, they became Christian, and now baptism is over. So what else is remaining? He took away the Bible because that black book written by the fishermen is going to guide the Roman Empire, the empire that rules the whole world. No, they have management gurus and all there, to decide. So, he made changes, he appointed the secular magistrates who were settling the cases and issuing the marriage certificates and proclaiming divorces, whatever way. He's taken their robe, colorful magistrates those days had colorful robes. Just like today, the Privy Council in England, they have those old wigs, white wigs and colorful robes and all. He had taken them all, put it on. So when he made up bishops, said, you have it too. Now you are in charge of the city. That's how the metropolitan came. The big bishop was over the metropolis. Now they have that colorful robe and all. See that? How colorful the bishops sometimes come out? Yeah. So they were in charge. So that means that he reorganized, Christendom in such a way that everything happened according to the whim and pleasure of the emperor. So what happened to discipleship? He didn't want anybody to look like Jesus. After all, that was a sad picture, right? That man of Galilee. Yeah. He wanted a real Christian to look like a Roman senator or a Roman gentleman, a Roman warrior or a bishop or a priest. They become the ideal. Yes. So that's what everybody wants today to be like. Yeah. Later years, when Reformation started, Luther, it was not an issue for Luther, discipleship, because he was fighting major areas of justification and all these things. There are major areas he had to deal with. Discipleship comes after that. How a man is saved. Bible or tradition. The priesthood of all believers. The mediators. The question of idols. Sacraments. So many issues he was meddling with. He was not going to deal with the discipleship. Actually, nobody in the Reformation so far has dealt with discipleship. Nobody. And I don't think anybody going to deal with it in the coming years also, because it's one of the most difficult things. Today, with the so-called freedom of individual, nobody will allow discipleship. Some people, they do not come to church on Sunday. Next Sunday, you ask them, brother, you didn't come last Sunday. What happened? I know a person who left the church said that. Who are you to ask me? It's my personal freedom to come or not. I will go to another church where I have the freedom. Whenever I feel like, I will go. I don't want anybody to ask me why. The importance of personal freedom is so much that you cannot ask them. All that you can say, nice to see you again, God bless you. That's what it is. Nice to see you again, God bless you. Yeah. So we are living in a day like that. So you have picked up a subject like discipleship, which is not suitable for the 21st century even. Because the dark ages have thrown away this subject. You look all the books that have been published in the Reformation period, You will not find one book with the title Discipleship until William MacDonald has written his book, The True Discipleship, a very small book. But it revolutionized Christendom to a great way. But the thing that is excellent book that has done so much good, but that book does not talk about how to make disciples. It only talk about the principles of discipleship. And even today, people do not know how to make disciples. You ask me, do I know? No, I don't know. Why? Because nobody made me a disciple. See, that's a fact. So, I made myself a disciple. You know that that's not God's way of becoming a disciple. That may be something you do. And the product will never be the correct one. Somebody wanted to take baptism, but there was nobody to baptize him. So what he did, he got into the water and he laid his hand on. He said, I baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Whether that baptism is correct or not, well, who are you asking? So that's the sort of thing today. So this discipleship is a concept that has been rejected or forgotten or forsaken, whatever you want to say. The Dark Ages has contributed to it. Thank God in the last 25 some years, at least people are talking about it. Talking about the discipleship. They use discipleship training, they have something this and that. And what they do, as I said, is Bible study on, on Christian virtues, like maybe taking quiet time regularly and, how to do evangelism more effectively, how to pray more effectively. Some of these things the disciples or all Christians supposed to do, and they encourage people to do that. I thank God for that. They are not doing any disservice or bad service. But I said this, but they are not making disciples. Yeah. They are not making disciples. And nobody knows actually how to make, disciples. So the Dark Ages has contributed. But I think another major problem for the failure of this matter of discipleship or disciple making is the cost involved in it. The cost involved in it. And there is a big cost. If somebody asks you to make somebody else like Jesus Christ, there is a possibility that you will fail. There is a possibility you will fail. Because as soon as you start, he will tell you that, that's not how, brother, I'll tell you. That's what people say. People have come and I started saying, well, brother, I have a better idea. I said, then why don't you make me a disciple? You sometimes feel that when you go to the doctor, you tell the doctor what to do, then the doctor will ask that, why did you come to teach me? But that's what people do. They have ideas. They have ideas. Yeah. So the cost involved is very much. The false contentment the Constantinian Christianity has provided believers is too much. That has said that you are a good Christian if you attend church regularly, if you tithe, give 1/10 of your income, that's great if you do to the church, and if you keep the 10 commandments as much as possible, you are a fine Christian. Now you talking to that person that you are a rough piece of rock, I'll make you a disciple. I needed to put my grinder on you a little bit. The very fact that telling him you need to be disciple, he will say, what do you mean? What do you mean? Disciple means. No, they don't like that idea. So that false contentment, he is going to be taken into, shredding that one. exposing and telling them that you are just a believer by the grace of God. What else is? You are a wretched believer. You have a long way to go to become like Jesus Christ. Who likes it? Another problem is that the lack of example. Hey, you show me a disciple. You're talking about, let me see what I will be like. Don't show me somebody from the Bible, Peter, John and all that. And I want some living. Are you going to say that I don't know anybody? Then forget about the whole thing. Sir, are you a disciple? No, I am not. Then what are you doing here? Get out of this place as fast as possible. See, this is the problem. So we don't really have any models. We don't have a model to show people this is what the discipleship is all about. Making a person like this. A living specimen. That we don't have. So people are not willing. Then if somebody comes and submit for discipleship, I tell you, he will be persecuted by other believers. Mentally, if not physically. Spiritually and mentally. First of all, the pastor or the priest or whoever, he belongs to the system, the elders, they say that, who is that guy, said the disciple? Who is he? What is wrong with our Christianity? We have been teaching you, we have been, you are doing an excellent work. They say, cut short, stop that program. Tell him that, hey, don't come here with this idea. People don't know. My son-in-law, is a successful disciple maker to some extent. So in many places, he, what believers have invited him and all. When he started, the elders and others said that, well, brother, you are doing a wonderful thing. We will let you know when. We will continue the class. I don't think the people are ready for it, brother. Because they are afraid that as the class progresses, the believers are going to tell the elders and others in the leaders that, hey, you guys are not disciples. What business you have becoming our spiritual leader? So it hurts their ego. So it doesn't go forward. So I say that pseudo-believers, I don't mean that non-believers, but pseudo-disciples, use that word, who will be persecuting those who wanted to become a real disciple. Because it's pointing the finger to them that there is something lacking in you. Fear of failure, both on the part of the disciple and on the part of the disciplee. For some reason, after a few classes, the disciple tells him that, brother, I don't think you are a stuff that can be made a disciple. God gave an homework that the Lord said, you have to forsake all you have. I want you to go home, take out everything you have. Any item that you have not used in the last 12 months, I want you to get rid of it before you come for the next class. He never comes. He has many pants and shirts if he is a man, or churidars and saris if she is a woman. There are many other items, many items they never really need, but they keep it. Because possession is, accumulation of things is our natural craving. The Lord said, unless you forsake all. So, so then said that I can do that, but what you said, I can do that. I try to get rid of some things that we really don't need. You cannot be a disciple. Because the Lord said, you cannot be my disciple unless. So the fear of failure on both, can you make them to obey all the principles of the discipleship? If not, then when the product comes up, people say that he is a disciple of Abraham Thomas. Look at him. bad, foul-mouthed and everything. He is discipled by. So arrogant. So I am afraid what? Hey, if the product is arrogant, then what they will be thinking about me? Because it came from this, manufacturing unit. So if the product is so bad, the die has to be bad. So I said, no, this is good. We'll have a Bible study, brother. Come whenever you can. I give you some homework. If you can do it. Otherwise, it's okay. It's okay. Let's go like this. So the fear for failure is a major problem. Unwilling to be exposed. Oh yes. As I said, you will be shredding the other person. You will be making him bare, showing your basic problem is covetousness. Your basic problem is your wrong ego. You are a possessive person. You have this problem. You have not handled your anger. You have this and that. When person looking at your face and telling these people, you think they're going to take it graciously? And then the disciple will be telling the Guru, I think you are a covetous person. Because you have been making statement for a few months, I am investing so much in your life, but I don't get any reward. This and that. Some comments he makes, they said that he got the idea, said that you are a covetous person, I don't want to be your disciple. Or he came a couple of times, the teacher is not there, he is sleeping, he said, I'm not ready today. Said that he's a lazy guy. He needs to be discipled by some. He needs to be put in the Indian Army or Navy or somewhere, boot camp. How can he disciple? So this is a problem. So the fear of exposure. Our family life will be exposed. Because we're going to show them how to live, husband, wife, how to bring up children, how to handle money. So we have to tell them everything, what percentage of your income you give for the Lord and how you do this and all this. They are interested to know that. When you say tithe, they are going to say, what percentage do you give? That's none of your business. Then it is none of your business to tell me what I should do. See, that's over. Discipleship is over. So this thing is, being exposed is very, 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 very difficult. Jesus slept with the people, ate with the people, walked with the people, spent with the time. Peter lived in Peter's house. Jesus lived in Peter's and Andrew's house for 2 years at Capernaum. They understood everything what was going on. If Peter's wife had shown some face one day, Jesus had sinned. Jesus definitely said, Peter, you're not a good husband. See, look at your wife's face. She's angry, she's frustrated, this, that. See, everything is exposed, children misbehaving. Well, somebody has climbed up his house and they have lifted up the part of the roof, they had on the roof they have a place for the air and all this come, but they have taken it out to bring that man. Peter's wife said that, well, this is too much. People are crowding inside, now they start climbing up and demolishing my house. This business of Jesus is too much. No. How many people? You know that at least Jesus plus 12, that is 13 people. Then there were some ladies' names given in Luke chapter 9 or 8 there, Joanna, Susanna, and so many women were following. So on any given day when the activities were less, Peter's wife and Andrew's wife, they had to cook at least for 20 people. This is not one day. 3 times a day, for 2 years continuously, without any complaint. But we know that most of the days there was no place for people to sit. So some lunch is to be served, it may be 300, 200, 400 people. What? No wonder the mother-in-law was also there, And then she got typhoid. So they have to take care of her and everything. So it was complete, their life was completely exposed. That's part of the discipleship training. Yes. That was part of it. People, they don't want that much. That's too much. We like our privacy. We call it what? Family privacy. I believe in the privacy of family life and all. I think Peter and his wife slept in their bedroom. That's all fine. But most of the time, people were in and out everywhere. Everywhere. Yes. Unwilling to pay the price. What a great price. Peter had to leave his job. John had to leave his job. Matthew had to leave his job. Was there anybody who was part-time? Part-time with Jesus? What an amount of price they had. Peter one day said, Lord, what are we going to get? We have forsaken all. The price is too much. Sometimes you cannot sleep. The way Jesus was doing, sometimes continuously. We know that when he fed 5,000 with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, the disciples came and said, it is the third day the people are staying without proper food. Send them away. The Lord said, no, you will give them food. For how many? If somebody will say, you will prepare food for 100 people, I think, our face color will change. When Jesus told them to feed 5,000 men, how many women and children? And the disciples answered. Philip said, Lord, what are you talking about? 200 denarius worth of bread will not be enough, just like in Lord's Supper, little bit everybody. It's not enough. What Philip said is impossible. Others said, what do you expect us to go to the town and buy for 5,000 people food? Impossible. Jesus said, they do not need to go. You give them food to eat. Then some little boy, they went around asking everybody, anybody got lunch? Anybody got lunch? So one little boy had 5 small barley bread or whatever, call them small loaves, and 2 small fishes. Somebody said the miracle is really Jesus divided that bread into 5,000 pieces and 2 small fishes into 5,000 fishes. That's the miracle there. That's their concept of the miracle. Because no, the Lord fed them all. The Lord fed them all. And the Lord wanted them to pick up every small crumbs. Not one small piece is to be left behind. Pick them up. The Lord taught them the value of food.